Good morning, day 32, Camino Frances. Anybody laughs at my attire, you can just leave the room. It is absolutely leathering it down here in Sarria. It's about 8 o'clock. I have no idea how far I'm walking today. It don't really matter, does it? I'll walk till I stop. It's coronation today as well, I believe. I'll be too busy for that. So I've had 3 soggy pilgrims drop their bags off today. Oh, and there's a rooster. Because it might be a bit hard going today with it being wet. I'm hoping it dries up a little bit. Everybody's laughing and saying that it's like England. So yeah, so what do you think of my glamorous poncho then, eh? It's like the Milky Way. Feet are already wet. Yeah, not so good. Not so good. See, when it's raining, you can just avoid it by getting up early. Sorry, when it's hot, you can just get up early and you know, get out before the heat does. But no. Anyway, enough rattling, and I'll show you all the lovely bits of old Sarria as we go through, even though they will be a bit soggy. So, Sarria has always been an important place for pilgrims. It has the hospital, which they used to care for pilgrims who were on the way. It's got quite a lot of the old buildings. It's also where you can start to do the shorter section of the Camino Frances. And of course it's got a bloody great hill and some big overhang of water by the sounds of it, which thankfully I've just avoided. I do hope the rain stops, but you know, it's okay, it's not slippy. Could be a lot worse. That's how you've always got to think. But yeah, it's soaking. It's like Manchester in December. Or only it's warm as well. I don't know if that's a real pilgrim. I don't think so. I think that's a shop. But who's to say? I can't see very much. This building here is quite interesting. It's now the tourist information. But it was a prison during the Civil War. Sad to think. It was a very bad time in Spain's history. There's a lovely viewpoint here, which is not so lovely right now. It looks like an ancient cross, but it's not all that old. And then there's also one of the old towers over there somewhere. Oh, it's there. Oh, maybe that's not it. There is one of the old towers of the city. This rain is really something. It really is. I feel like I should be going out and doing my Christmas shopping. Right, I'm just going to power on, I think. That's bloody hilarious. There's a bridge, but actually there's a river running over it. Why the hell they didn't put the runoff before the bridge, God alone knows. There's just so much life when you're next to the water. This ancient old bridge here, and the water's just running down. Hear all the birds in the trees, and just know that there are things that are surviving on all the bounty that this water brings. And I know I've moaned because it's been wet this morning. My feet are soaking wet. But it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We just hit the 100-kilometre mark. So that's quite significant. I can't even remember how long it was when we first started. Just stopped with me nice new Canadian fellas, and obviously Molly as well. That feels good. 100 kilometres. I don't even know how much that is in miles. Sure I could work it out. 60? Don't know. Okay, so something's going on here. It looks like a Christmas tree just gone round the corner with a cross on top. Day 34, I think. Alan's off before me today. Just going down the very steep little hill in Portamarin. I think he just wanted me to check the back end and make sure that everything was okay. So setting off today, I think we've got 25k, so I think that's about 15 miles. It was going to be early, and then it sort of hasn't been quite so early. But it's a pretty little town. Like coffee shops and stuff. You will have seen yesterday all the shenanigans with the children parading through the village. Just going to go and find my compadres and get set off. Yeah, it's about 7:30. Had a really quiet night. Well, there was people outside talking, but honestly, I could have slept through anything. So let's see what today brings. There's a lot of talk about after you leave Sarria and how much busier it gets. And as you can see by the crowds up there, we've just got just over 80 kilometres to get to Santiago, and the crowds are really ramping up. You go in any cafe, you know, you have to stand in line to get served, and then going to the bathroom is difficult because everybody wants to go. And walking down the paths can be difficult because you're all scrunched up together. There are ways around it. You can get up earlier. You can take some of the detours, which I've just done, so I've sort of dropped out of line, so I'm a little bit back from where I was. I would have been right in the middle of that throng. It's Sunday, people are out on motorbikes, but I think this is one of my lessons, is to learn to be more patient. Not everybody can do the long journey from Saint-Jean. Maybe they don't have time or capacity or whatever, or maybe they just don't want to. So it's a lot busier, is what I'm trying to say. But beautiful countryside still, look. Isn't that great? I better get moving. There's people behind me. See you on the flip. Okay, so following on from my little post earlier, so I'm just going to tip you a little bit forward, saying how busy it was. It all seems to have strung out again. The car just coming. So I find myself on my own again, which is fine. It's good for having a little bit of space so that you can process things in your head about what this journey means and how you think you're going to feel when it comes to the end. I don't know. But it is an absolutely ideal day for walking. It's still fairly cool. I mean, not cold by a long chalk, but just really refreshing. As you can hear, I'm walking uphill. I'm a little bit out of puff, but it's sunny. Birds are singing, an airplane flying overhead somewhere, taking people on their busy days and busy lives. And they've probably got no idea about what's going on down here. And why the hell should they? But it's lovely. The landscape just reminds me of England so much. It's so green, quite undulating. Can't walk anywhere in a straight line without going uphill or down dale. But yeah, no, it is. It's beautiful. And I'm still very thankful that this stumpy little body that's carried me through my life is also carrying me through this crazy journey. So far, I'm touching wood because I've got wooden handles on my poles. So far I've hardly had an ache or a twinge. A little bit of a this morning with my back, but it seems to have settled. I'm just doing so well. So I'm just hoping that this path will start to slowly descend. Now I think I've got about another 5 miles to do, so maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Be even nicer if it was all downhill, wouldn't it? Gently, not them steep descents that we've done. And here's one of our marker signs here. 78.319 kilometres to go. No idea what that is in real money, but I'm sure I'll work it out in my head as I go along. It's little maths questions that have occupied my mind for some of the time while I've been walking. Oh, traffic jam up ahead. We can only go as fast as the cows now. Hola.
Hola.
They don't seem to be in too much of a rush, do they? Oh, interesting. Looks like we've got a little river coming up here, coming down the path. Might have been a lot easier to have just carried on the road, but that wasn't the way it sent us, so let's try not to break a leg or get too wet. interesting. Very interesting. After getting my shoes totally soaked yesterday, I don't really want to get soaking wet again. Oof. So, ooh. Oh shit. Apologies. Right. That wasn't too bad. A little bit unnecessary, I think. Could have just kept us on the road. But hey ho. That's the way it goes. When I came down the hill today, I was greeted with all this. Bit of a picnic going on. It's the year's anniversary since the prayer labyrinth, which is on the sheet, was first installed. So they're having a little donativo, a bit of food, some beers. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, some gorgeous music. How lovely. And look at these lot sat under the tree having a great time.